It has been announced that The Mandalorian and Grogu will be having their own movie. Now, this is new information that just came out today. The Mandalorian and Grogu will be sharing the big screen. Now, I have an article here that goes a little bit more in depth into it, and Jon Favreau talking about it. So let's just get right into it. It says, and it's going to be directed by Jon Favreau. So that's going to be good. Okay. So it says, Baby Yoda is headed to the big screen. Jon Favreau is directing a new Star Wars movie titled The Mandalorian and Grogu. It will go into production later this year. Favreau created the Disney Plus series The Mandalorian, which follows a helmet-wearing bounty hunter played by Pedro Pascal, who starts the show on the run to protect a young, adorable alien named Grogu, better known by fans as Baby Yoda. It is unclear where the upcoming film will hit into the timeline of the live-action series, which has aired 3 seasons and is currently in development on the 4th. Favreau goes to say, I have loved telling stories set in the rich world that George Lucas created. Favreau says in a statement, the prospect of bringing the Mandalorian and his apprentice Grogu to the big screen is extremely exciting. The Mandalorian Grogu is the first Star Wars movie in the works with momentum anyway, since 2019's Star Wars The Rise of Skywalker, which, if you guys don't know, I didn't really like The Rise of Skywalker just because they brought back Palpatine and they didn't even give us a good reason. This is what they gave us.
And it confirms the worst. Somehow Palpatine returned.
So as you can see, Disney Star Wars hasn't been the best in terms of movies. I think when it came to that trilogy, I think the first one was the best one, even though they copied A New Hope. So it really shows a lot about how those movies have gone. If the first one that's basically copying A New Hope is the best one, at least in my opinion. But you guys have your own opinions on that. Favreau will produce The Mandalorian and Grogu with Lucasfilm president Kathleen Kennedy and Ahsoka creator Dave Filoni as he offers guidance on the upcoming film. Filoni will also work on the 2nd season of Ahsoka, starring Rosario Dawson. Jon Favreau and Dave Filoni have ushered into Star Wars 2 new and beloved characters, and this new story is a perfect fit for the big screen, Kennedy said. The Mandalorian and Grogu will lead Lucasfilm's upcoming feature-length development slate, including separate Star Wars films directed by Shermin Chenoy, I don't know if I'm saying that right, James Mangold, and Filoni. Though Disney's release calendar is constantly changing, an untitled Star Wars movie is scheduled for May 22nd, 2026, so it's about 2 years. A separate movie set in a galaxy far, far away is set for December 18th, 2026, while a third Star Wars adventure is opening on December 17th, 2027. Disney hasn't clarified the specifics of any of those. That's about it, basically, that the article gives. It gives a rundown of what movies to expect, or at least the slates that they're going to be popping up in. But the main takeaway here is that, I don't know if it's said instead of a show. I know they said that they're still doing the 4th season, I think, in this article. If that's the case, then we're going to get a lot of content regarding The Mandalorian and Grogu. But here are my thoughts on the movie itself. Now, the first season of Mandalorian was really good. The second season of Mandalorian was the best by far. In my opinion, I think that was the best season that they've had. And, of course, the ending. And if you guys haven't seen it, then spoiler alert, but Luke Skywalker comes at the end, which was the perfect ending. Now, they kind of butchered that a little bit. It was so fast that Grogu came to the Mandalorian once again, and that happened in a different show, Boba Fett, which Boba Fett wasn't that good either, because I guess people say like it wasn't their Boba Fett, but that's another topic. But yeah, I mean, they kind of butchered the 3rd season. It felt like there was a lot of fillers, and that's something that I guess Star Wars fans were not liking. It's something that I didn't like. I really hope that with the 4th season, if they make it, that they go back to the roots from the 1st and 2nd season. You know, just focus on them two. And I think that'll be really good. Now, what do I think about the movie in general? Now, depending on the story, of course, and who directs it, I think that a movie is probably the way to go. Now, the reason why I say that is because from past experiences, we got Mandalorian Season 3, which wasn't really good. There was a lot of fillers in between, and we had to wait each week to see what was going on. Now, but with the movie, you can really focus on those characters and bring a nice ending to it all in one swift go. And I think that'll be good as long as they keep the story original. If they, stay with the roots of Mandalorian season 1 and 2, I think that this can be a really good movie. And depending on how the other Star Wars movies are going to go, we know there's some news on this one director that said she likes making like men uncomfortable, which I'll probably talk about in a different video. Hopefully those movies turn out to be good as well. I think the one with Rey, hopefully that movie turns out good. But now that we know that Jon Favreau is going to be directing this one, I really do have high hopes for this movie. I hope they really do good. These are two characters that have been popular for a couple years now. It's something that's been doing really good for Star Wars, but also it's been really doing good for Disney in general. These are kind of like their stars right now. Hopefully they don't mess them up. I would really like to see go more in depth in not only the Mandalorian, but also Grogu, because I did really want to see more training for Grogu as a Jedi. Now, I know we saw a little bit of that when he was being trained by Luke. It's something I wish we saw more of. Obviously, it's something that we haven't got because of what happened in the book of Boba Fett. But, that's in the past now. Hopefully they do better now with this movie. They go more in detail with these characters. And we just see a little bit more of Grogu's development as time goes on in the movie. So, yeah, guys, that is the news on The Mandalorian and Grogu movie that will be coming out, I guess, within the next couple years or year. But let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. It's been Jeremy, and I'll see you guys in the next video.